back in the past millennium, back in the 1990s, starting in about 1992, 93, the NRA, National Rifle Association, put together what they call the Great American Hunters Tour. And it was a group of speakers, usually three of us per tour, and we would travel throughout the different states and do a one-night stand, if you will, talking about wildlife, talking about hunting techniques, guns, all those kind of things relating to what you would consider being a hunter's tour. And over the years, I had the opportunity to spend time with so many great friends, like John Wooders, who's no longer with us. John used to write the Peterson hunting buck sense column. Bill Bynum, who Bill was a dear friend that I called the reincarnation of Davy Crockett, and guys like J. Wayne Fears, Jim Zumbo, Craig Boddington, Dick Idle. I spent so much time with some of those guys and got to know them really well. We did a lot of good during that time because we would go into a town and they'd have us set up at an auditorium with a huge AV, audio-visual crew with all kinds of lights, all kinds of video, all kinds of still photography. Just an absolutely great event, and people would just flock to it like you can't believe. We introduced so many people to the NRA during it that way, and kind of hope NRA kind of considers maybe doing something like that in the future. What was interesting about all that is we always got up on a stage and they had all these lights shining in your eyes where you really couldn't see what you were doing. You couldn't see the audience. That was the negative side of it because I like to see who I'm talking to and watch people's reactions. But, we always went up the same set of stairs on the same side of the stage. We always walked off the same side of the stage on the opposite side at the same place on that stage. Well, we were about halfway through the tour one year, and we were somewhere in the Midwest. I can't even remember the state or the city that we were in, and had a gentleman up there speaking, and I was the second speaker, and I usually talked for about 45 minutes or so, and then I'd pretty much always introduce the last speaker, and in most instances, the last speakers on some of the tours I was in was Dick Idle. Now, many of y'all remember Dick Idle from many years ago with North American Whitetail, and probably known now as an absolutely fabulous artist when it comes to anything having to do with sculpting and bronzes. Well, I introduced Dick and I walked off the stage, and the problem was the steps and stairs weren't where they normally were supposed to be. They were just a little bit. I walked to the point of the stage at the left as I was walking off, and the stairs were at the point of the stage on the right side. And I went flying out, not into the crowd, thankfully, but flew out, hit a bunch of tables and chairs, and knocked over a few audio-visual things. Of course, then everybody coming up running there to see if I was okay, because the stage was about 7-8 feet off the ground. But let me just say, I kind of learned to fly, and I learned that many years ago how to fall, not necessarily gracefully that is, but to when I fall or fell, to not hurt myself when I did, and I didn't, but very, very embarrassing when you got right down to one of my most embarrassing moments on the stage, but very memorable too. And to this day, every once in a while, I'll have somebody come to me and say, "Hey, Larry, you remember that time you went flying off that Great American Hunters Tour stage?" Well, I do. Great American Hunters Tour, folks. It was an absolutely fantastic event. And this year, in 2027, good Lord willing, I will be at the NRA Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I really look forward to seeing you there. Appreciate y'all very much. If you're not already a member of the NRA, you need to be.